Binge or Purge? Binge or Purge? Binge or Purge?
Hello and welcome to Binge or Purge streaming reviews. I am your host, Dimo. My co-host is Joe Taylor. This is episode 61.
Yep, it sure is.
It is, Joe. Leave it at that. Hey, let's review something.
Sure. Why don't you go first?
Okay, I will. I have an indie. Not you, Joe. I have it.
You had me at Indy.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. This is called The Vast of Night. It's on Amazon Prime. It's 1 hour and 30 minutes. And it's sort of like a long-form Twilight Zone or Outer Limits homage. Now, have you seen this?
I saw it about 2 years ago.
You did?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I got, and I'm not exaggerating, I got a screener for it in November of 2018 or something, because it was nominated by Film Independent for Best First Feature,
Best First Screenplay.
Best First Screenplay, yeah.
Yep.
And a couple other things, I think.
Yes.
So I got to watch it a long, long time ago, and I thought it was great. I've since tried to show it to other people, and they didn't quite get it.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm going to recommend this knowing that quite possibly our listeners will want to kill me afterwards.
Yeah.
Because this is an acquired taste.
It's a genre movie.
It's a genre movie that is very slow and really only has, for the most part, two main characters. But it is so well done.
Yeah.
And the two characters are played by Sierra McCormick and Jake Horowitz. Sierra is a high school girl who sort of is like a telephone operator at the switchboard. Like she works at it at night. And Jake plays the town DJ.
Radio DJ, yeah.
Yep, and they come across this weird sound and they get involved in that. It's a pretty engrossing movie. I thought it was incredibly well shot, well lit, but it's really long takes.
Yeah, I was
really
yes.
long takes.
The opening shot's probably 14 minutes long.
Yeah. The camera moves around pretty well, but then there's one scene that the camera is just locked down and it's just the girl operating the switchboard. And you're like, wow, she really had to practice this. So many of these shots are one takes. A lot of it you go, you want to cut to something else, but they don't. There's a story with an old lady and the camera just stays on her for, I swear, 10 minutes.
Yeah, there's really long shots, but you can tell that this guy, Andrew Patterson, right? I know
Yep.
you were going to say that.
His
eventually.
directorial debut.
One film in, he's already got a pretty evident like style.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool. I'm really excited to see what he does next.
It had great sound design, too.
Yeah.
You know?
A lot of great things about this.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I say this knowing most people might hate it. Now, it has a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes with the critics. The audience score is 63%,
I believe that.
right? And it's a type of thing where people either love it or hate it. I don't see anybody that's in the middle. I happen to love it. I'm on the love it side.
I am too. Now, you have to know going in that the dialogue is like Aaron Sorkin, like bing, bing, bing,
Bidding, bidding, and it's all like 1950s lingo.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
at the beginning, I was like, do I need to put the captions on? I don't know what this is in English, right?
It's in like 1950s English.
And it's kind of mixed weird, where it's like, you know, you've got more background noise than the dialogue noise.
It's like hyper realistic, because remember when we were making our movie, I always talked about, I didn't like it when people like ping pong with each other, because that's not how people really talk. We try to do that on our podcast so people can follow it. But in general, like in conversation, people interrupt each other. They interrupt themselves constantly. So this captured all of that, and it's hectic, to say the least.
It is a very hectically paced movie, but yet slow, if that makes any sense.
I
You
know exactly what you mean, because I've seen it, but yeah.
So I'm going to say it's a binge. The Vast of Night on Amazon Prime. Don't come at me for this, all right? I don't want to hear like, the Vast of Night sucked. What's wrong with you? This is going to work for some of you, and for the rest of you, no. But I'm saying it's a binge.
Totally agree. I've always said indies are the best movies, and if you don't support them, you're going to keep.
And I'm not a big, huge indie guy.
Yeah.
Not like you.
You got to watch this kind of stuff. Otherwise, we're going to get more and more, like Grown Ups 5 is probably coming soon if we don't support these smaller movies. So.
I agree.
Okay, so I've got something a little out of the blue. Now, we've touched on this before. The rules of what we review and don't review have gotten a little bit hazy lately.
That's fine. It's the virus, right? Cut us a break.
Yeah. So this is a stand-up special, which I know you like.
I do enjoy stand-up.
This is Louie Anderson's special, Big Underwear. Now, where did you watch this, you might ask? I'll be honest with you, I watched it on the CW, which I know is off limits. However, it was produced by Comedy Dynamics, who does a ton of streaming stuff. In fact, this thing's all over the internet too, so you can actually watch most of it on YouTube.
Okay.
So we're not here to promote the CW by any means, but...
I don't even know how to find the CW on my TV. I think it's channel 5 here, right? I don't know.
It's
I mean,
not
it's
5.
like anything. It's on the CW, and I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah, that's like when your TV changes from HD to SD. You scroll by it. Not everyone's going to get that, but I know you know what I mean. So anyway, this is Louie Anderson's stand-up special, and again, it's available on YouTube. Comedy Dynamics is sort of this new company that's producing a lot of stand-up specials right now, and they put out like the Dice Clay special. They've like bought the rights to stuff too.
So they're putting out stand-up specials by has-beens.
Has-beens and up-and-coming people.
Okay.
There's a wide variety of stuff. One of us should do some research into how their company works, but they own the rights to a lot of stuff. Anyway, they put this thing out. It's from 2018. It's about an hour long. Now, Louie Anderson, I just have to say up top, I think is on the Mount Rushmore of comedy.
Really?
I really do, because he can work clean like Brian Regan and Jim Gaffigan. He's a Vegas comic. He's the most Vegas-y comic of Vegas comics. Is that how you say it?
I would think Don Rickles was the most Vegas-y of Vegas-y comics.
But he was mean. Louie's like a family guy,
Yeah.
Family-friendly guy. This is totally G-rated, I should say. Like
Well, you said it was on the CW, obviously.
Yeah, but they didn't bleep anything. That's
Okay.
just how he works.
Right.
And I can only think of 2 other clean guys that are even remotely funny.
As someone who's done stand-up for quite a while, keeping it clean is real hard. At least it is for me.
Yeah.
I mean, my mind always goes to the naughty spots, right? It's like, and I'm always like jealous of the people that can just do super clean material.
But now here's the thing about him, though, is that if you see him at a club, he doesn't work clean in the clubs.
No, he's filthy.
Yeah, so he does the clean stuff to get paid and does the dirty stuff so that other comics think he's not a hack. He's just incredible. I think he really is like comic.
I'm not a huge fan. I mean, he's okay. He's all right. I loved him on Baskets, though.
Oh, he's by far the best part of that show.
Well, I liked Martha Kelly. There's a lot of things I loved about Baskets. If you listen to the show regularly, you know how I feel about Baskets. But Louie Anderson, like I said, deserved that Emmy for that first season. I mean, he plays a woman, and you believe it, man.
Yeah.
You believe he's Zach Galifianakis' mother.
You totally do.
Yeah.
And he said that whole thing originated from a sound. He said Zach Galifianakis would make this sound when he was like pitching the show to Dave something.
Dave Becky.
He would make this sound like, eh. And he goes, we got to get Louie Anderson. He called him, and they were like kind of nervous to pitch it to him because it's like, hey, he's like a 400-pound large man.
400 pounds is a big dude. Shave it a little.
I don't know.
275,
He's
300.
tall too.
He's a big dude, but I mean, 400 pounds is huge, bro.
At his peak, Louie Anderson weighed 410 pounds.
I had a neighbor that was almost 500 pounds, but he was taller. He actually has a great joke about that, about he has to get his clothes at the big and tall store. He has yet to see a tall person. It's just a bunch of us big people. He's self-deprecating, and I don't know if you ever like met him around the Comedy Store and stuff, but nice guy. I mean, everybody loves him. No one's ever said a bad word about him as far as I know.
Nope.
Anyway, my whole point was this is a comedy special you can watch with your family and not feel weird while you're doing it. He never swears. It's very clean. It's also hilarious. In fact, let me play a little clip for you.
Ooh.
Now, he's talking about eating healthy and how it's tough to eat healthy.
You ever go shopping for organic? How much are the organic bananas?
They're $2.99 a pound.
How much are the other bananas?
They're free. No one wants them.
Can I get some free bananas and some organic stickers?
So there you go. Not a, crazy premise, but very funny. He always does the, I don't know how much you study like the structure of stand-up comedy, but like Roseanne Barr talked about like you throw that last punch, you throw like one more punch than they think is coming, and tags and stuff. And he definitely does that. When you think the joke is over, then there's that last tag or two. He's just a genius with stand-up. I think he's so great. And this is worth watching. Watch it with your family,
What's it called again?
It's called Big Underwear, and it's Louie Anderson's special. It's produced by Comedy Dynamics. It's all over YouTube, and apparently it's popping up on TV, which is where I happen to see it, but you can find it on the internet. Definite binge.
All right, back to me.
Back to Dimo.
Now I'm going to say a name to you, and let me know if you know who this person is.
Okay.
Walter Mercado.
No.
See, that's what I say as well. Okay? I've never heard of this person, but there is a Netflix documentary that just came out. It's 1 hour and 36 minutes called Mucho, Amor, The Legend of Walter Mercado. And I have never heard of this person. My girlfriend had never heard of this person. I asked 4 other people this week if they have heard of this guy. No one had.
I should say I know who you're talking about because I saw the ad for this thing.
Yeah, but you didn't know him before you saw the ad, right?
No, he's like a Mexican hero, sort of.
He's a Spanish language legend.
Right.
He's an astrologer. That's all he is. He's Puerto Rican.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he just became famous. He was an actor, dancer, all-around entertainer, right? And he did this little bit on a show where he, did people's astrology predictions. And it was such a hit, he became the guy for all of the Spanish-speaking world, pretty much. He's obviously famous, but I was like, I've never heard of this guy. How did I miss him? How did you miss him?
Well, especially me. I don't know. But I saw the picture of him on the ad for the show, and I thought, oh, he kind of looks familiar. But
You want to know who he looks like?
He looks like Mexican Little Richard.
He looks like TK. No. Doesn't he? That's an inside joke. Sorry, listeners. TK's a promoter in the comedy scene in Los Angeles. If you do stand up, you know who TK is. I was like, oh my God, it's a Puerto Rican TK.
Yeah, that's interesting. He does have a lot of plastic surgery, this guy does.
Yeah. And his whole thing, though, is like, his flamboyant wardrobe and like these ostentatious robes and capes that he wears. And he's immensely popular. And if you watch this, the guy is super positive. He's incredibly likable. Like he's a caring, loving individual. He's obviously gay, but never officially came out because he knows so much of his audience, are Catholics. Mm-hmm. But they gotta know, right? But he never says that he's gay, even though everyone knows it. But because he doesn't acknowledge it, the audience loves him.
He looks like the third member of like Siegfried and Roy.
Yes, right. Well, he looks like Liberace.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
He's got a whole Liberace vibe. And like I said, I watched this not knowing anything about him. I was like, all right, I'm going to go in this open-minded. And this was a very entertaining story of a truly positive person. This guy is just filled with nothing but love.
Well, that's what the title means, Mucho,
Amor.
It's
Yeah, that's his thing he says at the end of everything. He always signs off, remember, Mucho, Amor, And it's amazing for an astrologer to become this huge.
Yeah.
I think they tried to introduce him to American markets. I don't know what happened. I was just amazed that I'd never heard of the guy. Now, granted, I don't listen to Spanish-speaking things. That's probably it right there. Now, Lin-Manuel Miranda makes a cameo. He goes and visits him and talked about what an influence he was growing up. Yeah. And I get it. I can see why. He's just has a likability that you almost like trust. And like he's not out to get you.
Now, is this thing in Spanish or English or both?
Both. Just put the captions on, and it'll give you the Spanish, and then when it cuts into English, because he speaks English very well as well.
Yeah.
Most of the time he speaks, he knows he's going to speak in English because it's an English-made documentary.
Huh.
But like I said, it was a surprise. It wasn't awesome. It wasn't like, oh my God, you got to see it. But I thought it was something I knew nothing about. No clue. And I'm going to say Mucho, Mucho, Amor, The Legend of Walter Mercado on Netflix is a binge.
Well, you almost never cease to surprise me, and I am surprised that you A, watched that, and B, liked it. But
I surprised myself, man. I was like, look, here's the thing. My girlfriend wanted to watch it, all right?
okay,
That's the truth.
It's making a little more sense, but still, I'm glad that you liked it. Now it sounds like I kind of want to watch it because we could all use some positivity, right?
Yeah, it's a life-affirming documentary.
Okay, well, there you go. I wanted to mention real quick, now we'll review this when it's over, but the final season of one of my favorite shows of all time started last night as we record this. You know the show.
Yeah, I know.
What is it?
Room 104.
On HBO.
The show Joe likes to watch by himself.
Yeah, I don't even like having anyone here when I watch it. Incredible show. Anthology. It's back. Final season. Duplass Brothers. Mark was in it last night himself. So I call him first name basis. Anyway, so I'm excited to talk about that for like 40 minutes or something when it's over.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sell it.
Yeah, I can't wait. So
Yeah, I can't either.
I'm looking forward to that.
I watched last night's episode.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, I'll say this. They're a half an hour. Okay?
It's a whole series that takes place in one room.
Yeah. I mean, I see the allure for you. I know you love things that like, oh my God, they shot it in a shoebox. Amazing. Right? I get that.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, can we go out on the patio? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can we go to the manager's desk maybe? Something?
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. I'm glad you enjoy it, though. I know it's your thing. Congratulations. I'm glad it's back for its final season. Hooray for you.
Thanks, man. I'm looking forward to doing a real review of it down the road. Are you looking forward to anything else?
No, you keep asking me if I'm looking forward to anything. I've got nothing. Yes. Actually, I do. And this is something that you hate. So the tables are turning, Joe.
Uh-huh.
The Umbrella Academy.
Oh.
It's back.
Was it on now?
It will be. By the time you hear this, it'll be on. And I will be reviewing it in our next episode.
Oh, great.
Season 2, Netflix. Love it. A lot of listeners, by the way, have reached out to me recently, just got caught up, getting ready, and they're all happy that I recommended it. It's like, we know you recommended it a long time ago, but we see Season 2's coming, so we all invested in Season 1, and they have all enjoyed it. No one has said pish-posh. Just you.
Pish-posh.
Pish-posh, Joe. You can't deal with a talking chimp.
I just don't understand the rules. That's all.
Fine.
Anyway. Okay, go
That's
ahead.
it. No, that's it. I used to ask me if I was looking for something. That's it. Umbrella Academy Season 2 on Netflix. Ta-da. Okay?
That'll be good. Actually, there's a lot of cool stuff coming to Netflix, and also HBO has some really good shows, but we'll get into that another time.
No, let's get into it now. Let's get
Okay.
into it now.
I am really looking forward to watching and then reviewing Lovecraft Country.
Yes. Thank you.
That looks nuts. It looks
We're there.
so good.
We're there.
Okay.
For
We have to
sure.
do a whole HBO episode again.
We will. Let's recap.
Okay. So we talked about The Vast of Night, an indie film that Dimo and I both loved.
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime. I talked about the Louie Anderson special, which you can find online or popping up on TV, called Big Underwear. Hilarious stand-up special, G-rated. Watch it with your family. Dimo talked about Mucho, Mucho, Amor.
The Legend of Walter Mercado.
Right. And then finally, we just teased a bunch of HBO stuff that we haven't actually reviewed yet, but we're looking forward to a lot of things. So it's going to be a good month coming up, I think, for this show.
Yeah, definitely. There's stuff. Yeah, there's always stuff coming. That's the thing why we chose to do this. We never run out of stuff, right? That's the whole point. What can we talk about that's always going to be, there for us? I know. Movies and shows.
Yeah, although, I am a little bit worried that we are going to run out of them pretty soon because I don't know if people realize this, but nothing's filming right now still. It's been 6 months since they filmed a single TV show or movie, so...
Oh, the drought is coming.
Yeah.
That's what we'll have to do, classic reviews.
I guess. Someone was telling me, did you see Friends is on Hulu? I'm like, Friends, the show that came out 30 years ago?
Friends is on HBO Max.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's what they're using to get people to subscribe to their streaming service.
Friends and The Office, right? That's where the eyeballs go, right?
I could watch The Office constantly.
See? Exactly.
So yeah, maybe we will run out of stuff, but not yet. I guess in the meantime, we'll keep doing these.
Where can people find us, Joe?
Please email us your suggestions because we've had a couple good ones lately.
We have.
And we appreciate that. Binge or Purge podcast at Gmail is our email. And then Instagram at Binge or Purge podcast, Twitter at Binge or Purge, Facebook /Binge or Purge. Listen to us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube now. Don't worry, there's no video. Apple, iTunes, of course. Pretty much everywhere you can find podcasts.
We're there.
We're there, yeah.
There is no escape.
Yeah, and we're on iHeart now, too. So if
We
you have
are.
the iHeart app, you can get us on there.
Just search us, you can find us.
Yeah.
So before we go, we want to thank Jess the Facts. You can follow Jess the Facts on Instagram at the Jessie Greer. That's Jessie with a Y. So for Joe Taylor, my name is Dimo. This has been Binge or Purge Streaming Reviews. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.